No one believed it when a loyal German shepherd took in two fragile bobcat kittens and an abandoned lion cub. They grew up together like family, against all odds. But 2 years later, when their wild instincts returned, what happened next stunned everyone and proved that love can rewrite nature itself. The storm had just passed when the farmer heard faint cries near the edge of his land. Curious, he followed the sound into the brush and froze at what he found. Two tiny bobcat kittens, their fur damp and trembling, huddled together for warmth. Just a few feet away, a frail lion cub whimpered weakly, too exhausted to move. They had clearly lost their mothers, and without help, they wouldn't survive the night. Unsure what to do, the farmer scooped them up carefully and carried them home. He knew raising wild cubs was dangerous, but leaving them alone was certain death. As he set them on a blanket near the fire, his faithful German shepherd padded into the room. She sniffed the kittens, then the lion cub, her ears pricked and tail swishing with curiosity to the farmer's amazement. She curled her body around them, letting their tiny forms press against her warmth. That moment marked the beginning of an extraordinary family. From that night onward, the German shepherd became more than a guardian. She became a mother. Each morning, she nudged the bobcat kittens and the lion cub awake, licking their faces clean as if they were her own. When they cried for food, she lay patiently, letting them nuzzle close for milk and warmth. The farmer watched in awe, realizing he had witnessed the birth of a family no one would believe. The bobcat kittens grew bolder with each passing week. They wrestled playfully across the wooden floor, pouncing on each other with tiny growls that soon turned into soft chirps. The lion cub, clumsy and slower, followed their lead, tumbling after them with oversized paws that sent him sprawling more often than not. But every stumble ended the same, with the shepherd gently nudging him back to his feet. Around the farm, the sight became routine. A loyal dog leading 3 wild cubs, herded together like children. Villagers who passed by stopped to stare, some shaking their heads in disbelief, others smiling at the miracle unfolding before them. As the months passed, the tiny cubs transformed before the farmer's eyes. What began as clumsy stumblings soon became fierce, playful energy that shook the quiet farm. The bobcat kittens sharpened their instincts through games of chase, leaping from hay bales with surprising precision. The lion cub, though slower, grew larger each day, his playful roars echoing across the fields like distant thunder. Through it all, the German shepherd remained their guide. She tolerated their pounces, their tugging teeth, and their endless energy with remarkable patience. When play grew too rough, a single bark from her stopped them instantly, teaching discipline without cruelty. She ran with them across the fields, nudged them to drink water, and stood guard whenever strangers approached. Her presence shaped them as much as nature itself. Word of this strange family spread quickly. Neighbors and travelers came to the farm just to glimpse the sight. A dog racing through the grass with 2 bobcats and a lion cub close behind. Some called it a miracle, others warned it was dangerous. But to the farmer, it was proof that love could tame even the wildest hearts. 2 years had not yet passed, but the transformation was undeniable. The bobcat kittens were no longer fragile bundles of fur. They were sleek, agile predators with sharp eyes that followed every movement. Their playful pounces carried weight now, and their claws, once harmless, left marks on the wooden posts of the barn. The farmer began to notice how they lingered at the edges of the fields, scanning the horizon with a hunger their dog could never understand. The lion cub had changed even more. Once clumsy and small, he now towered above his bobcat siblings. His mane began to sprout, his shoulders broadening with power. His playful roars had deepened into a commanding thunder that rattled windows. Yet, when he lay beside the German shepherd, he pressed his massive head against her like the same helpless cub she once cradled. The farmer watched with growing unease. Their love for the dog was clear, but instincts were rising fast. He asked himself a question that haunted his sleep. Would nature eventually win over nurture? Or had the dog truly changed them forever? One night, dark clouds rolled over the valley, and a violent storm tore across the farm. Rain battered the roof, thunder shook the ground, and lightning split the sky into blinding flashes. Inside the barn, the bobcats hissed nervously, their fur bristling, while the lion paced restlessly, tail lashing with unease. Their wild instincts surged in panic, and the calm routine of their life seemed ready to shatter. The sudden clap of thunder sent the lion rearing, his massive paws striking the walls. The bobcats leapt wildly, their sharp cries echoing through the rafters. For a terrifying moment, it looked as though the wild had finally taken over. The farmer froze at the door, unsure whether to step in or stay back. His heart pounded as fear surged. Was this the moment he had always dreaded? Then the German shepherd rushed forward, planting herself between the cubs and the storm. She barked sharply, her voice cutting through the chaos like a command from nature itself. Slowly, the bobcats stilled, their trembling easing. The lion lowered his head, pressing against her side, his growl fading into a whimper. Love had calmed what even thunder could not point. 2 years slipped by, and the farm was no longer home to tiny cubs, but to full-grown predators. The bobcats moved with silent precision, their muscles rippling under spotted coats, every step echoing the grace of the wild. The lion, now massive and regal, commanded the barnyard with a presence that made visitors keep their distance. Yet, no matter how intimidating they appeared, their loyalty to the German shepherd never wavered. Every morning, the farmer would find the lion lying beside her, his golden mane brushing against her fur, as if he were still the helpless cub she once saved. The bobcats, though fierce hunters in the fields, returned each evening to curl at her side. To the world, they were untamed creatures. To her, they remained children she had raised with love, but the farmer's unease never left him. Instincts were powerful, and even the strongest bonds could be tested. That test came one fateful afternoon when a stranger trespassed onto the property, his voice harsh, his presence threatening. The farmer braced himself for chaos, uncertain what the animals would do. What happened next would shock everyone who witnessed it. The stranger's voice rose as he stepped closer to the barn, his tone harsh and commanding. The German shepherd stood alert, her body tense, a warning growl rumbling deep in her chest. The farmer's heart pounded. He feared the wild instincts of the bobcats and lion might turn unpredictable under threat. But then, something remarkable happened. The lion stepped forward first, his golden mane catching the sunlight as he let out a roar so powerful it shook the ground. The bobcats followed, flanking him on either side, their sharp cries filling the air. Together, they formed a wall around the dog, their adopted mother, their loyalty undeniable. The intruder froze, fear draining the color from his face. He stumbled back, realizing these predators were not attacking blindly but protecting. The farmer stood in stunned silence, eyes wide with disbelief. Nature's fiercest creatures had chosen love over instinct. In that moment, it was clear, the bond forged in warmth and sacrifice had rewritten everything they were meant to be. News of the incredible bond spread quickly, drawing visitors and experts from far and wide. Many called it impossible, others labeled it a miracle. But those who saw the lion and bobcats guarding the German shepherd with unwavering devotion knew the truth. Love had rewritten nature's rules. The farmer often watched in quiet awe as his dog lay peacefully. Her wild family nestled close around her. She hadn't just saved them. She had raised them, shaping their hearts with kindness instead of fear. And in return, they gave her what no one expected: lifelong loyalty and a legacy of love.